Chicago is heating up, and not because of the weather. A viral street moment of Taehyung protecting Jungkook just broke the internet. Welcome back to Tea Diary. Today we are decoding this sweet, unexpected moment. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our latest updates. Chicago hits different when BTS arrives. The tour schedule is always incredibly packed and physically exhausting, but before stepping onto the massive stage, Taehyung and Jungkook clearly have their own special way of enjoying the city vibe. They were caught on camera taking a casual stroll, spending quality time together amidst their chaotic schedules. There was no complex choreography, no blinding concert spotlights, and no massive crowd surrounding them, just two people looking genuinely relaxed, soaking in the beautiful moments of their togetherness as normal guys, not just global superstars. Watching them walk side by side like this feels absolutely refreshing. They let go of the immense pressure, breathing in the city air, looking perfectly in sync. It is a very rare sight for us to witness. Usually, we see them in full performance mode, radiating fierce energy. But right now, in Chicago, they are just sharing a very peaceful walk today. However, it was not just a simple walk that made ARMY scream. At one crucial moment, Taehyung was caught showing a highly protective gesture. Right in the middle of their stroll, he suddenly leaned in, seemingly checking on Jungkook's condition, and almost half-hugged him in a very public area. Of course, this brief clip went insanely viral across social media platforms within seconds. Everyone was left wondering, what exactly were they talking about that made Taehyung act so sweetly and carefully in front of the crowd? You can clearly see how focused he is on the younger member. He did not care about the people walking past them, his attention was entirely locked on Jungkook. It is these tiny, unscripted details that always manage to make our hearts melt. This quick display of affection sparked massive debates and endless curiosity among fans. What exactly triggered this sudden instinct? The answer might really surprise you, so please stay tuned. So, how did Jungkook react to this? The magnate actually looked incredibly comfortable with the gesture. Instead of feeling awkward, we can see a soft smile and a completely spontaneous reaction from Jungkook when Taehyung paid such close attention to him. Their interaction flowed so naturally without feeling forced at all. For those of us who are used to seeing them exuding fierce and charismatic auras on stage, witnessing this calm, relaxed, and soft side feels like a breath of fresh air. He didn't pull away, he simply accepted the caring gesture as if it is the most normal thing in their daily lives. This deep level of comfort speaks volumes about their bond. It shows that off-camera, they rely heavily on each other for support and reassurance. The way Jungkook leaned into that comforting presence proves how safe he feels around Taehyung. But it turns out, we are not the only ones analyzing this behavior. Experts have something to say about it. Interestingly, this public interaction didn't just grab the fans' attention. Matching the massive hype online, this specific moment even prompted analysis regarding their body language. Taehyung's gesture of leaning toward Jungkook and the way they perfectly synchronized their walking pace were evaluated by several behavioral observers in Chicago as a sign of absolute comfort. This is clearly no longer just basic fan service for the cameras. The way they look at each other and that highly protective physical touch demonstrate an emotional connection and mutual trust that is deeply rooted. Experts say you simply cannot fake that subconscious alignment. When two people are that in sync, their bodies naturally mirror one another, showing a profound psychological closeness. It validates what ARMY has known all along: their bond is genuinely authentic. And this deep connection actually stems from a very specific place in their shared history. Let's dive into it. For ARMYs who have followed them for years, this Chicago moment rewinds our memories back to one core thing: their incredibly long journey. Taehyung and Jungkook didn't just meet a year or two ago. They practically grew up together from those extremely harsh trainee days, crying and laughing side by side, until now returning to conquer a massive city like Chicago. It is that bond built over many years that makes even the smallest gestures between them feel so incredibly meaningful and utterly impossible to fake. They have seen each other at their lowest and their highest points, sharing dreams when nobody else believed in them. Knowing this background makes that quick embrace on the street hit so much harder. It is a silent communication of surviving the music industry together. They are a home to each other. But despite the heavy emotions attached to their history, there is a beautiful simplicity to this specific moment that we must highlight. Though fans see this interaction as deeply intimate, we cannot know 100% what their secret conversation was behind that moment. But one thing is absolutely certain, the immense peace between them radiates so clearly. They are utterly free to be their truest selves when they are together. And perhaps, the pure simplicity of this burden-free stroll is exactly what makes it feel so incredibly special in the hearts of millions of fans. They weren't performing for a camera or trying to fulfill a fan service quota, they were just existing happily in the present moment. It reminds us that behind the glitz and glamour, they are human beings who need a comforting presence to lean on. In a world full of chaotic schedules, finding that quiet peace with your best friend is priceless. But as beautiful as this street interaction was, it naturally caused a massive wave of excitement online. Wait until you see how wild the fans went over this. It is no surprise that the timeline was instantly flooded with comments from ARMYs worldwide. Various social platforms were totally packed with intense reactions like, "Taehyung genuinely makes Jungkook his top priority," while many others felt deeply moved seeing how naturally they protect each other in public. This tiny, beautiful moment right before thousands of eager fans filled the venue successfully made so many people smile at their screens today. Fan artists immediately started sketching the scene, and video editors went crazy analyzing every single frame of that clip. The engagement numbers skyrocketed because everyone simply wanted to talk about how pure their connection looked. It united the fandom in a massive wave of wholesome appreciation. But wait a minute, hold on, the incredible surprises from these two in Chicago certainly did not stop at the street level. Something much bigger is waiting once those stadium lights turn on. Now, the intense focus of every ARMY is shifting toward the grand main event. If Taehyung and Jungkook were already this unbelievably close and affectionate off stage, just try to imagine the absolute chaos and magical moments that will happen when they finally perform under those blinding concert spotlights. What kind of electric energy will they bring to the crowd tonight? Will we get another legendary stage interaction when their favorite song plays? The fans' expectations are currently soaring through the roof as we all eagerly await the highly anticipated Chicago performance. We know that their dynamic on stage is always completely unpredictable, bringing a mix of professional brilliance and playful teasing. Everyone is holding their breath, waiting for the iconic Taekook chemistry to explode once again in front of thousands of screaming fans. Let us prepare ourselves because this magical night will be etched in our memories for a very long time. This Chicago moment proves once again that their bond always brings so much warmth. What do you think they were talking about on that street? Drop your theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, share it with your fellow ARMYs, and make sure you are subscribed to T Diary for more exciting Taekook updates. See you in the next video.